Ooh. This actually seems great. I don't know how much. I'm gonna be entirely honest that I don't know what today is going to look like. And I would like it to be a long and productive stream. But I can't promise that it will be. So we're going to do our best. Can I spawn and attach a static mesh at runtime inside of an editor? Yes, you absolutely can spawn. Create a skeletal mesh component dynamically, most common. If you skip register component, the mesh will not appear, not tick, not collide. So I had a thought. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is actually do destruction, where I actually cut it in half and have it fall. It might need to be this, though. Wait, I'm spawning a skeletal mesh, right? Inside of here, not an actor, right? $65? Spawn. No, this is spawning an actor. Okay. Yeah. No, it's spawning a ragdoll actor. Okay. Hmm. Unreal Engine 5. Hmm. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yo, what is up? Today we are doing a destruction quick start tutorial. I was playing some Marvel Rivals recently, and I saw a lot of deconstructible environment, so I wanted to do a tutorial on that because Marvel Rivals was done in Unreal Engine as well. So I'm going to get started by first
Oh, I
choosing
didn't
the
know
name of
that.
this. I'm going to just call it Destruction. I'm just going to call it Destruction. And I wanted to show this part because I usually do things in third person, but for this I'm going to do it in first person just because it has a weapon it starts with in the default project. And I'm going to use that to break the box I'm going to create. So I'm just going to click create on this. So for this, we're actually going to create a new type of asset from a static mesh that we have. I'm just going to use this box here, but we're going to be using a geometry collection. So I want to click this drop down arrow up here, and there's an option that just says fracture, and you're just going to click on that. And we're just going to create a new thing. So I'm going to click new, and it's going to pop up here, and you're going to put the exact location you want and the name of it. The GC is for geometry collection, and I'm just going to underscore just cube. And I don't need to worry about any of this. And all you have to do is hit create geometry collection. And now I've turned it into this now glowing type box I have here. And in my save drawer here, I'm just going to hit save all and save this, so it saves my cube here. So as of right now, this thing is a single object right now. But once you actually fracture your geometry collection, you'll see that each fracture piece ends up being a child of the hierarchy. So for fracturing the geometry collection, there's quite a few options for fracturing it. And you can combine a bunch of different ones in order to make the destruction look a little bit more interesting. But for this, I'm just going to be going over the standard fracturing thing, which is the uniform Voronoi method, or whatever, however you pronounce that. So with this method, you're just going to define a minimum maximum number of sites to create cell volumes for fracturing. So let me go to the outline over here. And what the hell? Okay, I don't know, that was some visual glitch right there. That's not what I'm trying to do. This. So now I'm clicking this. And now I'm just going to click on the uniform here. And as you can see, it has the cube selected. And you'll actually see here in the fracture hierarchy how it just has the single cube here because it's not broken into pieces yet. But once you break it, actually let me just show. So right now, let's see, explode amount. This will show you a diagram about showing basically how it's separating apart. I'll show that in a bit. Here are the I don't know how to pronounce that, Voronoi sites or whatever. So this is the minimum and then the maximum amount of sites. I'm just going to keep them both at 20, and I'm just going to fracture it. So let me click fracture. And as you can see, there's now 20 pieces of this cube. So it's split up into 20 pieces now. And now I'm just going to show you how to this explode amount. So let me and let me just do this. And you can see how it's going to break apart. These are the different pieces. Now I'm just going to take this up a bit. And I am just going to simulate this. And there it goes. It broke to pieces. So now let me adjust this to the ground here because I don't want to break until we shoot it. So now we're going to shoot it. And so the way that the geometry collection works is that when enough strain is applied to the geometry graph, or the connection graph, sorry, the box will scatter. The fracture pieces will disconnect from each other. So the most common way of doing this would be to apply strain using a physics field. And I'm just going to use the pre-built master field that comes with the Unreal Engine by default. And how that's going to work is it's going to spawn the field at the projectile's impact location, and the field will cause
I don't
the
think
geometry
this is quite what I'm looking for, to be
So
honest.
now we go into the content. I'm going to go back to selection mode. So I'm going back to selection mode. And this is what my cube looks like. And I'm just going to press Shift B. Oh, wait, let me go back into fracture. Fracture, Shift B. And I can change it back to a normal looking cube. So if you press Shift B when you're in the fracture mode, you can do that. So now let's go into the content browser and find the weapon. So it's under first person, blueprints, and then you have your pickup weapon. So I'm going to double click on this. I actually don't think I need to do anything with this. I'm just going to do it on the actual ball itself. So should be BP first person projectile for blueprint class. Awesome. And I'm just going to select all the nodes except for the event hit here because we're going to use that, and I'm going to delete it. And now we're just going to spawn an actor class. Spawn an actor from class. This is going to be the master field we were just talking about. So master field. Click that there. And then I want to bring this out a bit. I need to make the spawn transform something because it can't spawn from nowhere. So I'm just going to get a make transform here. And I need to get the hit location to be the location for where we're going to be spawning the master field. So I'm going to break off of this, and I'm going to set activation type. And I want this to be trigger. So I'm setting it for trigger, the activation type. And then I want a CE trigger as well. And yeah, the target for this is going to be the master field. You can attach that on there, and then we're going to want a delay node for the projectiles. It's just going to be 0.2, and then I want to destroy the actor, which is going to be self. It's going to be the ball itself. And then I'm just going to go back after I compile and save it. All right, so now I'm just going to grab my rifle, and I'm going to shoot the cube. Let's see how good my accuracy is. Boom. And it shattered to pieces. And there you go. That's how you do the very basics of this. This is super, super basic, but just to show you how you can go about setting up a fracture system.
I don't think that's quite what I'm looking for. So what I was thinking and is that maybe the answer is to just do spawn in like I am with the with the pedestrians, right? And go from there. Now the issue there, it's going to be not great. Well, this could be better. No, it's so difficult because like depending on how the tick ends up, the collision ticks end up happening, you end up in these really weird situations where like you end up hitting it and it's like incredibly solid, right? Okay, so the issue that I'm running into is that this gets disconnected entirely from this once it gets hit, right? So I go like this over here. So if I do this, we're gonna hit this one right here. See how this is correct, and then when we hit it, it's gonna be not correct anymore. There it is now. So now we look at it, and there, it's this one now. So yeah, this goes down here, and there's like no way to actually do this. Okay, so it's supposed to be there, but it's not going there, right? But then if we come back and we hit this, it does work. But the problem is still that like again, it doesn't respawn into the right spot again. Because it's supposed to respawn here, copy, and then we do this and we paste. Oops. Copy. So it does work once we do that, but it's not working correctly. Set transform. I think if we do this, we might be able to get this to work. I still don't know how I feel about that though. Because I would like for it to actually destruct, I think. I didn't mean to hit play, I meant to hit debug. I haven't taken any painkillers yet today. How do you remember all this things? I'm not coder, just asking. Practice. Just like anything, lots of practice. Miko-chan, Miko-chan, welcome to the stream. Yeah, lots and lots of practice is really what it comes down to. I don't know, though syntax doesn't, I've never found the syntax difficult to remember to some degree, like, right? Like IDEs really help a lot with that because then you don't have to remember everything, you only have to remember bits and pieces. Makes that a bit easier. And it's about memorizing patterns and flows. It's a lot of things to remember. It is, It is 100%. But like anything, right? It's a matter of time and effort, right? Like there are things that I will never be good at. Like sculpting characters is something I'll never be good at. Not because I'm incapable of doing it. I am more than capable of doing it. But the reason why I'll never be good at it is because I'm there's nothing compelling me to spend the time and effort required in order to become good at it. Right? Because it's a lot to remember. Like you've got to learn and memorize anatomy, and you've got to learn and memorize all that. So, yeah. Sorry, Cola. Welcome back. How are you doing today? Okay, so we run this over. There we go. Now I get to see what the mesh default transform is nothing. So I'm assuming that this is the construct isn't actually saving the correct thing. so that's good times. All right, so we figured out why we're getting a bad result. We're gonna run this like normal. We'll come back into here. We're gonna stop this. So on overlap here, we're actually going to build the construct here. The transform. We're gonna take this and we're gonna build this back here. And that way we know that it's correct. There we go. And now it should work. We figured the problem out, and now we can fix it. I don't actually know if this is 100% going to work because it's setting. I think I've got it still set for relative, and we want a world transform. So I'm gonna have to probably do this one more time. But let's see if this relative one works. I understand 0%, but really enjoy to watch. Oh, I thank you. You can ask questions, by all means. I'll be more than happy to answer questions. And there's no such thing as a stupid question. Hey, it worked. Sweet. All right, so one of the things that we want to do is we now want to... oh, nice. Ah, there we go. We got one of them. It's high speeds. If you're going high, like really fast, the collisions are different, right? And you can hit this in such a way that it's going to stop your vehicle, and you're more likely to hit it in that way if you're at a higher speed, because the collisions only get checked so often. I do want to test this. Is that world location or transform? Yeah, Miko-chan, if you've got questions about getting started as a software developer or getting started in doing game dev or anything like that, you're more than welcome to ask. I won't have all the answers, but I'll have some answers for you. I've been doing web dev for about 10 years now, so professionally for about 10 years. In this industry, you are always learning. No matter what area of this industry you're in, you are always learning something. There's never a time when I have learned it all, because there's no such thing as learning it all. Raciel, if you won't have all the answers, then I won't ask any questions. How are things, Mr. Rush? For anybody that's unaware, Rush is a very talented character artist. Could be character artist or character sculptor. Would be the right way to say that. At any rate, Rush is very talented. And I don't know if I can show his work on stream. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really care for tittles. So whatever you feel. Titles, so whatever you feel like it. All right. I'm going to go with character sculptor then. That might not be the most exact one. He's actually, I should say he's a very talented artist because that is actually what he is, because he is also a talented 2D artist as well as a talented 3D artist. And he does do environment work sometimes, like for his sculptures. So do you make your dream? Build like any game that you already make or any projects? I've worked on a number of different projects over the years. I've never really worked on and like put out a bunch of projects that are like personally mine, that are still really available. And this is mostly going to be kind of my first game. It's technically my second game or third game, I guess. My very first game that I put out, and it was only live for a little bit, was like a little browser-based MMO that I wrote entirely in Elixir with a JavaScript front end, and it was very server authoritative. And that was kind of fun. And I did it in 12 days. And then I made an itch game that I published. It's this one here, which was a play off of one of my buddy's games here, which was a kind of ultra like simplified low poly game. And I was like, I'm gonna use the upscaled versions of that, and then like so, I feel and I was just, because he used Unity, right? So this one's in Unity and this one's Unreal, and I was like, I'll make go up to Unreal Super Waifu Edition. That was fun. It was entirely a meme game. But it was still great. And now, oops. Now I'm working on Isekai Crusader, which is the game that you're here with. Okay, so if I go over to my Shibuya level, this one's going to take a little bit to load. But yeah, like Mostly I've been doing web dev for about 10 years. So like I've not done game dev for 10 years. I've done game dev for a little bit. That's how you enjoy your projects. It's really fun, but destroy a piece. No pain, no gain. Here only pain, no gain. Yeah, pretty much. You just gotta work at it, right? So this is the map that we're working on right now for like the proof of concept effectively, right? So this is our proof of concept level right now. And I found that the environment needed Oh, that's fun. That's not supposed to be there. Neither is that. Okay. Cool. That's 000. So I am somehow hitting There's something in the middle there. Oh, or is it the oh yeah, it might be the girls because they can interact with the with these. Yeah, it might be them. Yeah, right now we only have one pedestrian. So the pink-haired girls are pedestrians. You're not actually supposed to run them over. You're supposed to be going after this girl here. And or see if we can find him. I'm sure there's one of him around here. They're the only ones that load outside of the Oh, there we go. They don't get cold. Which is kind of fine, but whatever. There we go. Or this guy here. So you're looking for one of these. One of those two. And then you run these guys over. Those two. They're the heroes right now. The only two heroes that we have at the moment. More are coming. You run them over and they give you points, and the regular girls here, the pedestrians, take points away. You can see the points over in the corner there. So these aren't by default. Okay, so why is it happening for that one but not the other ones? This is a destructible environment. And this one's also doing this, which is a lamppost, which is part of which is see destructible environment. So this should work, right? Because these are working, which is a fence post. But this fence post is from IC destructible environment. Okay, so let's run into this because this should there. And then it should respawn back there. Okay. Did it respawn in the right spot? Okay, so it is respawning. Was it just a glitch then? There we go. That first one doesn't work. This one here is the problem one. And now it respawned? Interesting. The rotation's wrong now. What should I ask? I don't know a single word of coding. Face red. Drop yes. You just ask anything you want to know. Just start with what's the like did you want to become a developer? Is that what you want? EP post box. We grab that and then we come into here and we go to this and we drop it in. Remember, there's no wrong answers, right? Why do programmers prefer dark mode? Because light attracts bugs. Like, I guess you're not wrong. SM post box. Where is this? Where is this? Why is this part of this? Okay, so we want what's going on here? Oh, right, because it's not a static mesh anymore. Why did the game dev go broke? Because he kept spending all his cash. Some of those are pretty good. Some of those are pretty good. Where is... Do I need to maybe do this? And then do... Oh, here we go. Yeah. There we go. These should now work correctly, I hope. I need to increase that from 2 seconds. Because 2 seconds is too slow. Is too fast. I think that I gave... Did I give this a timer? I gave it a timer, but did I give it a dynamic time? Yes. Okay, despawn time. Or no, respawn time, right? No, that's a despawn. Respawn time. Oh, we should rename this. Respawn time. And let's say 5. Actually, we're done. We're mostly done testing, so we'll go for 10. Devs love coffee because without caffeine, there's no. Programmer jokes are fun. There's only 2. My favorite still. There's. Oh, sorry. Is the off by 1 errors. Why do devs hate nature? Too many branches. We do a lot of branching. Sorry if I'm a bit slow. I'm still recovering from last month. I'm still recovering from last month's surgery, so I'm gonna be a little bit slow. But I do get my biopsy reports next week though, so I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so we've solved this. We've solved this. Now, there is still technically a problem that I don't like, and it is that this base mesh here is static. I want it to be static, right? Because I don't want to have to calculate the. I don't want to have dynamic. Give me a second here. I don't want to have dynamic. I don't want to have dynamic shadows on it because dynamic shadows are too expensive. Actually, are dynamic shadows CPU or GPU based? Are Unreal Engine 5, Unreal Engine 4 are dynamic shadows CPU or GPU bound? Why did the 10-year devs sleep at the office? Because the code said return home equals false. Unreal dynamic shadows are GPU because they are calculated on the graphics card in real time. This is typically more expensive than CPU-bound tasks, but the performance bottlenecks can shift depending on the complexity of the scene. Okay, that's good. I don't need to worry about it then. But I do want to shift this because, like, I want to have... We never stop fixing bugs. No, it's fine. I'm just seeing how far I can get before my head starts my wound, like my head wound starts throbbing and I need to go for the day. I had brain surgery last month, so it's a lot of it's a lot of trying to get as much done as I can. Speaking of which, I should probably go take some pain meds. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Oh, so much fun. Oh my own ass. Still pretty good. Why do seniors devs drink so much coffee? Because Hope was deprecated years ago. You're not wrong. The longer that you work on a project, the more you learn to dislike parts of the project. It's like the longer that you work on something, the more it's like, but why does it have to be so broken? Because shit is always broken. Shit's always broken, and you're always fixing your past fuck ups. So Miko-chan, what is it that you do? And are you wanting to become a developer, or are you an artist or like a project manager or something like that, or do you work in a different field altogether? So I want to replicate this specifically into an extra mesh here. But I think that needs to be done at begin play. Spawn a component. Can I spawn a second mesh that is in the same location and has the same mesh at runtime? Sorry, at construct time. Constructed because the mesh may not be assigned until the blueprint is constructed. You need on construct for that. Okay, that's what I was thinking. That's not, I didn't mean to click that. Spawn new object during gameplay, not allowed in constructor. You cannot use new object in the constructor. Duplicate the mesh during on construct. Best for copy blueprint mesh at edit time. Okay, so this is definitely what I want, but let's find out here. Is marked public, private, or protected? Virtual protected function. Okay, I had a feeling that it was going to be a protected method. Virtual void on construction. Now there is something that I have to ask for. I need to find out one last thing regarding this, and I need to know when is on construct actually called, right? So if it's called only when it's placed into the map or spawned into the world, then that becomes a problem, right? Because then the ones that are already there won't actually be uh, um, um, it won't run correctly, and I would like it to run correctly. When is on construction called? It's called many times, and understanding when it fires is super important. When an actor is placed in the editor, if you drag an actor, it runs immediately. When you change any property on the actor in the detail panel, when the blueprint defaults change, there's blueprint will reconstruct on all instances in the map. When an actor is duplicated in the editor, at runtime, right after spawn actor or actors spawned during gameplay. When the level is loaded, when loading a map, actors construction scripts are executed. During tick, when moving an actor in the editor with transform widget, unless the property changes. Sorry, got disconnected. My internet provider has some issues with me. I guess it happens. I was asking. I'm an administrator. Oh, nice. Like an operations person. Am I on the side that you hate? When physics moves components, when you modify components dynamically in C++, does not rerun constructions. How to think about it on constructs. Render and editor. Oh, animator. Sorry. You're an animator. I don't know why I read administrator. I'm learning in art college. I learned to draw. Oh, are you a 2D animator or a 3D animator? It sounds like 2D because you said draw. Rush actually did animations. I think he said that he's stopping animations because it's too much work. I keep meaning to learn animations, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get around to it. Yep, 2D, nice. That is a great skill to have. Okay, so we do this, and then we do this. Bring this up here like so, and then we do a U property. But we're not going to have anything here, and then we just do this. Hit mesh. Right? If we come up here, yep, 2D. Yep, it's actually not that hard. I'll speak for yourself. It's hard for me. Okay, so this is the one here that we actually want to change. So this would be the hit mesh. This one here is going to be movable. This one's going to be static. So static just means that it's never going to move. Movable means that it is. And then what we want to do is we want to just not render this. Hit mesh is set visible. Visibility to false. There. Well, I gotta go. It's 11 p.m. All right, you have a good one. Last joke. Always smile. Why does the veteran developer never smile? Because happiness wasn't included in the patch notes. That's a good one. Well, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. Hey, VibVerb. Ah, it's coming along. I've got it working again. Um um and I think what we want I don't think this is required anymore. I think this, though, we probably want to move down to here. And then this is going to be an on overlap event. And then that will solve part of the hit issue here. Ooh. How's your game coming along, Vibber? Vibber? On overlap mesh. On mesh begin overlap. We're going to get rid of the hit event. Working on cleaning up and of past jobs data dump. Okay. I guess that is something that's going to happen. You missed it. We had a Mr. Rushzilla here earlier. Very talented artist. 3D artist. Character artist. Very talented character artist. Yeah, I need to clean up my computer properly before I tackle the game production fully. Figured the docs will come through also at the same time. Nice. I think I figured out why my head was hurting yesterday, and it's probably because my scar is, or the incision is starting to scab over, but the scab is merging with hair, and so when my hair moves, it pulls on it, and it's a soft spot. It's tender, so it's causing extra pain. It's great. It's great fun. This is going to be the on hit here. I'm feeling super exhausted today, by the way. I've been feeling exhausted like all fucking week, though, so. Like, I wonder if overlap would be worse than hit, performance-wise. Yeah, you and me both. We're not hit mesh. We want base mesh. Base mesh. Actually over. So this here, we want to come up here and bring down into here. Then here we want hit mesh. We want default mesh. Sorry, base mesh. Get static mesh. Hit mesh. Relative location. Base mesh. Get relative location. Transform, sorry. How's our soft spot doing? It's starting to scab a bit, and it's pulling on the hair, and it makes that area very tender, and that's what's causing the pains right now. How are things on your side, Mecca? I got word from my stepmom. She's going to come down and stay with me for a couple of days, so she can come with me to the cancer research center, and then she can ask intelligent questions instead of my herpa derpa questions, and actually understand what the fuck's going on, because it's not like I understand anything. Art or game dev? Or get something to eat? I support getting something to eat if you haven't eaten yet. Options. Hella options. Oh yeah, Mecca. I might not have hair soon. I don't know how long that takes, but I might have to go for chemo, and if I go for chemo, I'll lose all my hair. Probably. I think chemo makes you lose your hair. Yeah, no more beard. No more facial hair. Wonder if I lose my eyebrows. If you lose your hair to chemotherapy or radiation. Yes, you can lose your eyebrows and other body hair from chemotherapy, but radiation, including hair loss, is limited to the area being treated. Fast-growing cells, which includes hair follicles all over the body, leading to potential loss of scalped hair, eyebrows, eyelashes, and other body hair. Huh. fall out 2 to 4 weeks after treatment starts and can fall out in clumps or gradually. Uh they they pulled the initial report and they came back with another one, and it might be cancer. I'll find out next week. I won't find out details until next week, but I my doctor called, and right now it's not great. Yes, the biopsy's been done, but I haven't talked to a doctor that, like, I haven't talked to somebody who actually understands it yet. So I talked to my family doctor, right? And my family doctor doesn't know too much about brain tumors and this specific topic. So his understanding of it is quite limited, and he doesn't want to give me bad advice. Obviously, he's a great doctor, and he's been trying to keep me as up to date as possible. So, anyways, he's been monitoring my charts, and when the first reports came in, they said that it was probably that they believe it's benign, and that it was this kind of tumor, and that I should be fine. But then they pulled that, and um, losing ass hair is nice, I suppose. So they pulled the initial report, which means that, which I don't know what that means, and right, necessarily. And they finished all of the tests on Wednesday, right? And I think it was Wednesday, and um, my doctor called to tell me what it was, um, and uh, and some of the details. Um, but because he doesn't know enough about brain cancer, or sorry, he doesn't know enough about brain tumors, he didn't, he didn't have all the answers. But on the 27th, so next Thursday, 1 week from yesterday, or I guess 1 week from today, kind of, I will go in and talk to the cancer research people, and they have all the answers. Um, I have to get my phone. Give me a sec. I've got to go to text messages. No, that's not the right one. Go with my mom here. They said that it is a which here we're not entirely, so there's grade 3, but is that different than class 3? We're not sure. Right? Astrocytoma mutant class 3. Um so yeah. Um Damn Saitama. I know, right? Fuck him. uh so if it's grade 3, which could be class 3, I'm not entirely sure. It's a faster growing And my doctor did say that, my family doctors did say that it likes to grow, so it's going to continue growing. But we'll find out more. I'll find out more on Thursday next week. And we'll get the details, and we'll plan accordingly, obviously. Um and yeah, but my stepmom's going to come down because she's a registered nurse, and she'll be able to understand and relay information back to my dad and stuff like that. Hopefully you get good treatment plan and final prognosis next Thursday. Yeah, so I'll get the final prognosis next Thursday, the final results. I'll get those, and I'll be talking to the experts on Thursday next week. And I'll have my stepmom there, who's a registered nurse, or was a registered nurse. She's retired now, and she's retired from teaching at university as well. So I'll have her there to interpret and relay information back to the rest of my family. And why so many people getting sick sick this late in the year? Because 2026 is a shit year. Here's to 2025 is a shit year. Here's to 2026. So, at any rate, we'll find out on Thursday. You guys will get to find out, but that also means that I'm not going to be streaming Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday next week, because my stepmom's going to be in town for those 3 days, and I'm going to spend some time with her. I don't get to see her very often, so. And she's only here for a limited amount of time, and she's only here because I asked her if she would be willing to come down to help me do this. Yes, family time. Yeah. So she's gonna come down and help with that, and it's gonna be great. But yeah. So there's that, and then we'll find out what the next steps are. But based off of my reading, if I understood anything correctly, it likely is going to need chemo or radiation, and I'm not sure which one, or if either they're going to go for. But I'll find out on Thursday if which one, if either, that I'll actually be doing. And it's a hurry up and wait situation. So get that muscle up. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like muscle mass? Uh how come you have to wait a week to find out? Because that's when they could get me in to speak to the experts. It's a 2-hour sit down. There's probably a reason, and it probably has to do with they want to actually do this in person, because and give you a chance to not be as emotional up front while you're having this conversation. Hey, anytime you're sitting down with a cancer research center, it's probably not the greatest news. So people are probably going to be prone to be less rational in that type of situation. So, but I'll have my stepmom to be rational. I'll have my mom to be irrational, and I will be probably sitting in shock, not really sure what the fuck to say. um, but my stepmom will be able to relay the information to the rest of the family to let everybody know what's going on and what the outlooks are and stuff like that, because she'll retain that information better and relay it better than I will. And if anybody needs to be informed, it would be her, because she can actually look into this stuff and understand the more. Wait, your dad remarried? Yeah, my mom remarried as well. Although my mom's divorced. My mom's been divorced twice now. She divorced my dad and my stepdad. My stepdad's in prison though. What the fuck, lore drop? I don't know. I don't think that was whole. I don't think this is so much a lore drop as it just kind of came up because somebody said something. Yeah, he was caught. So my stepdad's American, and after my mom and him separated, like I don't think I don't know if they were divorced at this point or not, but I know that they got divorced after that because he didn't need to be involved in the divorce. At any rate, so sometime after they separated and they were no longer living together, and my mom was up here in Canada and he was down in the States, he got caught drug running across the American Canadian border. He got stopped at the border and arrested with $1 million of coke. I think it was coke. Is coke the one that you snort? I don't actually know. And then when they raided his house, they found another $1 million of coke. And some unlicensed and some illegal firearms. I just found out about Glock Dookie in prison. I do not know what that is. Anyways, so he went he went to prison in the States, like fuck you in the ass prison in the States. And as far as I know, he's still in fuck you in the ass prison in the States. And then my understanding is that when he gets out of fuck you in the ass prison in the States, he gets to come to Canada for fuck you in the ass prison in Canada. Because he was also getting his maple card. He was getting his Canadian citizenship when he did this. It's taking a knife and making concoction of shit. Concoction of shit. Oh god, that sounds terrible. Let's not do that. I know that they did that with arrows in medieval times sometimes. But I don't know if it was actually like they would make a mixture for that so much as they'd shove the arrows into the ground, and because they were in the ground, you would get infections when you get struck by that. Um oh, I I I have no idea. I don't actually know if phones are like I think you can actually have phones in prison. I know that you can have electronics. They have like prison electronics in the States. they're all see-through, so you can't hide things in them. Hey, it's not so much that I pulled up as one came up. That's a prison iPad? I don't think that's a prison iPad, is it? Oh, it is. It is actually a prison iPad. Interesting. Oh, I imagine they do because they have to pay for them. Yeah, they have to buy them as far as I know. So like if they break it, it's their own money, right? It's not given to them, as far as I understand. So have you made your decision on what you want to do for today? Go to prison? What? Why would you want that? Don't do that. I don't condone you going to prison. What was I even working on? One sec. Is there a cheap overlapping actor? Overlapping other actor is the player. Um, I don't know what I want to do for my next game yet. if I'm being completely honest, I don't know what my next steps are after this. Compare. Extremely cheap. This is the way to do it. You finish the game, would you ever think of doing a low poly? Yeah, I think it kind of slowly do. If other actor is not equal to I'm trying to think of what I want to do. Okay, so there is a game that I have in my head that I want to make. But I don't think that it's appropriate for my next game. And I don't, depending on my depending on what the doctors say, this game might never be able to be made. So I've been thinking about it lately, and it's kind of, I think that it's going to be high pixel, kind of. Yeah. So I think high pixel is kind of the general idea of what I was thinking to some degree. But I don't actually know what I want from an next game. I also don't know if it would actually be high pixel, right? High pixel comes from escape. Well, high pixel comes from Minecraft, right? So high pixel was initially um a Minecraft server kind of thing, right? And then they wanted to add things that, oh, interesting, they're Canadian. So they did Skyblock as a prototype, yeah, and it was their version of their special version uh of of uh um of Minecraft for servers was really popular. But they decided at one point to make an MMO. Hightail. Here. Yeah, sorry. Hightail is kind of more Hypixel / Hightail is kind of what I was thinking. And it's Hightail is an MMO that they were working on to and they were building an engine for and stuff like that. But it looks like Minecraft, right? Because it's entirely based around Minecraft, right? but I don't entirely know what I'd want. And I'm not even sure as far as like the characters go, what they would look like or anything like that. Yeah, Minecraft can be fun. Um, but effectively, what I want, like what I actually ultimately want to build, is a very interactive, more MMO styled game, right? What did you guys do? Did you guys kill the Ender Dragon? Did you blow up her entire town? We're doing a create mod server right now, my friends and I. Mm. Oh, the gears. We did, but yesterday when she wasn't on, I took her gas. Her gas didn't tie to something hard. Trouble finding it until another player helped me. Then I lost someone else's horse. God, just losing everything. Just everything. Interesting. Don't take the gas because that's hard to get back. Yeah, that's the rideable one, right? But anyways, this is what I like. You can do create, and create allows you to have. Can we click through to this? Builds? No. Okay, that's cool. Anyways, so you can do some crazy stuff, and you can actually build more resources easier in create, and that's really what. And you can build some really complex, really cool things using create. So create is something that makes me happy. For important, we cage our animals and then we entity cram them. That's what me and my buddies do. We entity cram our entity cram them and create like systems to feed them and stuff like that. To be fair, we're very automated focused. We're farm focused people. Yes, but entity cramming breeding farms. Do you know how entity cramming works? Yeah, and then when a new entity is spawned in, an entity has to be removed because you've crammed too many entities into one block. And now they kill an entity in order to make room for a new entity because each block can only hold so many entities. So you're cramming too many entities into a singular area. But there's other ways to do it too, right? But you choose to call. No, we try an auto call. Right now we're working on a we're leveling a bunch of terrain to build a iron farm. This iron farm will work in your world as well. So I'll draw it out for you. It's actually kind of simple. It's actually really simple and really intuitive to build. But I'll show you what it looks like. This is a really cool farm because you can build it anywhere. So from the side, it looks like this. Right? And then you've got a wall here. Sort of. Kind of, right? You've got a wall. Yeah, no, you've got a fence here and then a wall. I think you've got a wall here or something like that. Yeah, and then you've got 3 beds right here, right? Right, and then you've got a boat with a zombie. And then you've got water flowing in this Y direction. That's not water. Then you've got lava. You said about. I heard about, but in a Canadian accent. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you've got lava, and because you've got 3 villagers, it creates a village, right? Which means that an iron golem can spawn. And the iron golem spawns, and because this is all waterlogged, and you've got you plant over this, and then you specifically make it so that the golem can't spawn on this section, right? So this is the only spot the golem can spawn, right? And there's a wall here, right? And then there's hoppers, right? No, not an iron golem. Sorry, not a copper golem, an iron golem. They're the big guys that protect villages. They've been in for a long time. When you kill an iron golem, he drops iron. So, I think this is the actual iron farm here. Yeah. So if I kill Rose's copper golems, I get copper. I don't know. I've never used a copper golem before. Yeah, so like this is an incredibly simple system, right? There. So you've got your 3 villagers. And now that it's night, you get the villagers to go down the stairs and they go sleep in the beds, right? Because it's nighttime. Then you lure a zombie in, and the zombie goes down the stairs into the boat. And now the zombie can't get to the villagers. And the zombie's there because the golem, the iron golem, only spawns if there is a hostile mob in the area. So you need the zombie to always be there. So you see how it works? Like it is just that easy. Super easy. Yeah. I'm going to build a different an iron farm, right? I'm going to build a create iron farm, and the create iron farm is capable of producing a lot more iron and other resources. But that can only be done in create. That one that I just showed you, that can be done in Rose's world. Nice. Elytras are fun. I've never really had a whole lot of elytras. Also, Leaf, welcome back. I've had elytras, but I've never really used them. I don't even know if we're gonna use the ghast. I don't even know if we can use the ghast, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even sure what version of Minecraft we're on. I don't know that we're on the latest version. Yeah, no worries. Hmm. All right, so this is my post here. Whether or not to cache physics volume. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so I actually do want to see that. Oh, wait, that's not the right one. This is mostly for diagnostics purpose, like diagnostics information. I'm gonna have to do a quick check here in the construct. So if the hit mesh is empty, then we override it with the default one, with the current one. If not, we'll leave it because that allows us to hot swap things in and out if we need to. Like if we want to actually add a destructed mesh, we can do that. There we go, nothing. Hmm. Interesting. It's actually not getting anything. I will be right back. Okay, there we go. Yeah, all right. am I only getting audio out of one side? Oh, okay. More. Yeah, but there was the problem of only one side getting audio. Yes. At least you understand. Yeah, I'm still only getting it out of one side for some reason. Welcome to the game. Um, the objective is to run over heroes to send them to another world in order to save those worlds from demon lords. Do you get any stuttering hitting like 1k entities? Stuttering hitting 1k entities? No, I don't think so, because we're at 3k right now. Like that group of girls was 3k. The goal is to actually no, I think for at least this portion of the game right now, 3k is kind of the upper limit, because the actual city right now is way too infested with pedestrians, and we need to dial that down a bit, because it's damn near impossible to actually play the game without running over the pedestrians right now. I think we're gonna go probably with about 1,000 people. Or maybe with advances of like actual like full AI, 3k might work better. Because like right now, there's just too many pedestrians, and they're 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 they surround the heroes a bit too much. So you can't hit a hero without running over like at least 30 or 40 pedestrians pretty much. It's like impossible. So we need to have some way of I need to have some way of notifying pedestrians to get out of the way, and right now I don't have that implemented. Well, the idea is to do voids for the pedestrians, and that way they move more kind of like actual people would for crowds. And then you need the ability to have if you hit somebody, if you hit a pedestrian or a hero, that should trickle into the pedestrians and tell them to run the fuck away, kind of thing, right? And scatter. And then we'll also need to have vehicles roaming the city too, which also means that we need to have some way of having a lights and whatnot, right? So like if we jump over to Shibuya, right, we should have lights in Shibuya that tell us, hey, you know, do the thing, kind of thing, right? But yeah, like if I can get the pedestrians only walking on the sidewalks instead of walking into the middle of the road like this, obviously will be much easier to because like there's the monkey man. Let's try and hit the monkey man without running other people over, kind of thing, right? And it's like it's damn near impossible. Right, there's just way too many pedestrians. He flew real quick. Oh, there's a Pio in the middle of the ground over there. See if we can go run her over. I don't even know if we can get to her. Yeah. Oh no, we did hit her. Okay. But yeah, see, we're at negative 30 already. Oh, there's a Pio. My understanding is the voids aren't actually that difficult to implement. Once you actually start doing it, right? Ooh, there's a monkey now. But yeah, so effectively, if I have red lights and green lights, these girls shouldn't be walking around, right? Like there's a red light. And then there's the green, right? So they shouldn't be here. Like they shouldn't be walking around in this area here at all. But also right now we've got them, after a while they just kind of get stuck on things. Right. So voids aren't actually overly complicated. But the flocking simulation works well, and then you can have them all notify each other of one unit kind of thing. So I'll have to figure some stuff out because I think they all need to know about each other, and that's a bit more challenging. And right now, the AI is using effectively a teleport system, where to get from here to here, they actually teleport, and they just teleport along a spline effectively. And I want them to move along those splines using physics, and that way things work a little bit better. So this should not be visible and should not generate overlap events. Does this one generate overlap? Oh, it is set to generate overlap events. It's good to know. This one here doesn't have anything. So the idea here is that we disable the static one, and we bring in only we only utilize the movable one, and then we switch back. But part of me wants this to like so part of me doesn't want to have these here actually be overlaps, because I want to slow down the truck when you first hit it, right? Mm. No, I don't think this is right either. Yeah, it's this one here. Okay, I did this wrong. Sorry, give me a second. There. And then this one here we don't do anything with. No, this is supposed to be hit. What the fuck? There we go. I don't think that we need that anymore. Okay, so unconstructed to do. I think it's no collision. do I have it set up? I think it's block all, right? No, this is supposed to be block all, yeah. Wait, can we just do base mesh? Okay, no. And one beacon overlap. This becomes a physics actor. We set the block all. Okay, so this one becomes block all, block all. Okay, I think this should work. Hmm. Hmm. This is problem. So I think what we want is we want to have these do overlap only after. Well, no, because when the truck runs into the overlap component here, right? And there we've got vehicle overlap, generate overlap events, right? Right, because we can't move that. Oops. It's not switching. But arguably it probably should have switched already. So maybe, yeah, maybe this needs to be a bit bigger. Okay, I am physically touching this. It's not simulating physics. Oh, wait. Shit works better if you do it right. I'm curious how this one's gonna work. It worked. It just worked. Wait, it did just work. Oh, it doesn't have the... When you run into this, it loses the... This is one of the complicated ones. So if we look at it, right, these two, we have to add them to this, and then these need to also do stuff. Really what this should be is this should be a mesh that comes with this. But we got it working, and that's the important part. These we'll have to work out at some point. Which is effectively like I export this, I export these, and then I create this as a singular mesh, and then I export it, I bring it back in, and this becomes a singular thing, right? But I think there's also a way to there's a way to take these and combine them. All right, I think this is where I call it a day and go lay down for a bit. The I'll keep working on this though after I rest up. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks to everybody who joined. We're all awesome, and I will catch you all later. Ta ta for now.